There exists a kind of creature in the world. They are discovered by a few people, but never officially recognized. We collectively call these creatures unidentified mysterious animal. To confirm the organism, abbreviated as UMA. Hello everyone, welcome to the UMA series videos. In this episode, we will share a mysterious creature from the US. The Dover Demon. In the 1970s, in Massachusetts, USA, a bizarre creature sighting caused public panic. Around 10 p.m. on April 21, 1977, in Dover town of the state, a 17-year-old boy named William Bartlett was driving near a farm when he saw a small humanoid creature crawling along the stone wall by the road. At first he thought it was a pet or poultry, but when he turned the headlights toward it, he realized the creature was beyond his understanding. According to his description, it was under 4 feet tall, humanoid, but with proportions clearly different from humans. A head as large as a basin, a thin body with long slender limbs, curled fingers and no body hair. Its rough skin was peach pink in color. When it turned to face the light, 2 glowing orange eyes were visible. Feeling nervous, Bartlett did not stop to check. He quickly drove away from the area. Although the sighting lasted only 7 to 8 seconds, Bartlett relied on memory to sketch the creature he saw at that time, and he even swore on the Bible that he truly saw it. From this drawing we can clearly see the creature's body type leaned toward primates. But based on the unproven words of a teenager, it was still hard to believe. Coincidentally, 2 hours later, around midnight of April 21st, another 15-year-old boy, John Baxter, was walking home along Miller Hill Road when he saw the creature. According to his account, he first thought it was a friend playing a prank and even tried speaking to it. But the creature did not respond. Upon closer look, it resembled a monkey, but its body proportions were distorted. Its feet clung tightly to a rock, while its arms embraced a tree. Under the gaze of a pair of pale eyes, Baxter felt fear and unease, and quickly ran back to the main road. The sketch he drew looked like this, which was almost identical to Bartlett's drawing. But that wasn't the end. A third sighting soon followed. On the next day, April 22nd, again at night, 15-year-old Abby Brabham and 18-year-old Will Tainter were driving along Springdale Avenue when they saw the creature crossing the road. Brabham described it as having a huge oval-shaped head and long slender limbs, with round large eyes glowing brightly. Tainter, however, only took a quick glance and described the creature as having a large head and a brownish body. These were all the reported sightings of this creature. Later someone noticed that the 3 sighting locations happened to form a straight line on the map. In the period that followed, the media received police statements saying the creature reported by the teens might have been a hoax. But later, officials questioned several witnesses separately and found they had no prior connections, ruling out the possibility of a collective prank. For a time, the news of a mysterious creature in Dover spread across the world like a monsoon. It also attracted the attention of many scholars. The famous cryptozoologist Loren Coleman became the first to lead an investigation into the creature, and he named it the Dover Demon. Coleman speculated that the Dover Demon may have appeared long before, but people simply did not investigate further, because during his visits he discovered that as early as the 1970s, there were rumors at Sherborne High School that several students had seen strange small creatures in the woods. Also in 1972, someone reported seeing the creature on a pond near Springdale Avenue. The local police even conducted searches, but found nothing. The investigation soon stalled. After being sighted repeatedly within 2 days, the Dover Demon vanished. Many adventurers and scholars searched for its trace in vain, as if it had never existed at all. Even to this day, there have never been any new reported sightings of the Dover Demon. This inevitably raises doubt. Did such a creature really exist? As for the truth of the Dover Demon, many believe it was actually a newborn moose or a young foal, with lighting conditions causing the witnesses visual confusion. This explanation also takes into account their ages, mostly being quite young and possibly lacking perception. But the author finds this explanation unreliable. First of all, I searched online for images of these 2 animals. Even in their juvenile stage, their heads would not appear so disproportionate. and their limb extremities are hooved, which do not match the witnesses' accounts. Secondly, in 2006, the first witness, Bartlett, said in an interview that he knew very well what he saw back then, and emphasized he was a serious person who would not make things up. At that time he was already 46, and a well-known painter, clearly with sufficient judgment. Another explanation suggests that the Dover demon was an extraterrestrial life form, as is well known. The US is a country frequently visited by UFOs, and the Dover demon's large head happens to match early depictions of what aliens were believed to look like. Massachusetts did indeed have a UFO sighting in 1952. Report of unidentified flying objects. Everything seems reasonable, but in his 2013 book, Monsters of Massachusetts, Coleman pointed out, the Dover demon is not a ghost, fairy, or alien traveler. It is a living anomaly. Similarly, Bartlett also mentioned in interviews that he did not believe the Dover demon was an alien. So this claim remains highly controversial. Another explanation leans toward mythology. Believing the Dover demon is the Manassas, the little people of Cree mythology. The Manassas are usually described as small primate-like beings, with slender legs and arms, each hand with 6 fingers, round, hairless heads, large eyes and no nose, living in crevices of rocks near rivers. The author carefully searched for information about this creature, and found that because too many people linked the Manassas with the Dover demon, both images and documents describe them in this form. But in fact, in folklore the Manassas were often recorded as furry little dwarves wearing clothes, which is the opposite of the Dover demon, and they did not have glowing eyes or 6 fingers. Aside from the Manassas, there is also a legend in Massachusetts about the little people called the Pagoji, whose name originally meant people of the wilderness. They were said to be Native Americans, primitive human-like beings, with intelligence and hostility toward humans. Their height ranged between 2 and 3 feet, with gray skin, large ears and fingers, and capable of using magic. Most depictions describe them with quill-like spikes similar to porcupines. Both of these explanations lack real evidence, and only exist in oral traditions. Since the Dover demon was first sighted, 45 years have passed, and the creature has still not been confirmed. The author believes the creature could exist, but the chances are low. From a cryptozoological perspective, since ancient times, legends of wild men or little people have existed worldwide. Of course, some are true and some are false, but like the giant squid, even though its legend dates back to the 4th century BC, before it was confirmed in 2004. Who would have believed that an invertebrate could grow over 10 meters long? The reason I say the likelihood is low is that the witnesses' descriptions still show some discrepancies. In fact, before the 1980s, there were still many species undefined. Perhaps the so-called Dover demon had already entered people's lives, but we simply did not connect them together. As the saying goes, the unknown is always greater than the known. And that is the charm of UMAs. Alright, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.